Boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. And I'm your hostess with the mostest, Marky, saying I'm so blessed to be alive. I'm in a great mood, but all the people around me are in a bad mood. And I want to get after that because it's like something that I can't exactly separate myself from. You know, if I could sell my attitude or my energy into a 4-hour energy drink, your boy Saint be rich by now. But unfortunately, my richness comes from my attitude. You know, it's the only thing that we really have control over. I read a text message. I get a text. I'm on a text message text group, and they said literally to the effect of that man, us as men, women, humans on this planet have the ability to know what's going on around them, but don't have the ability to control what's going on around them. And I thought, there it is. You know, it's our brains. You know, it's our brains that function ineffectively. They'll go into catastrophic thoughts. They'll get into what is the word I want to look for? Not relax. It's not relax. It's anxiety. And once we're in anxiety, our brains stop functioning. It's a failure of our brain system. Once we're in anxiety, everything else starts to become myopic, right? We can only fixate on what's going wrong. I just heard a friend last night, I could be dead. You know, I mean, just totally catastrophize his life. I know he's going to live past tomorrow. I know he's going to live past today. Hell, I got probably a couple 20, 30 years left with this fool. But in his brain, and I hate to call him a fool, but it's foolish for our brains to work against us. And that's what we do to ourselves. That's why I labeled this morning, Brain Don't Fail Me Now. Because as I was in my worst moments, right? Even when I was in a South Korean prison, I harnessed my chi. Nelson Mandela harnessed his chi. Starving Mahatma Gandhi harnessed his chi. And that's where we become our powerful selves. That's where we become limitless. That's when our halos glow. And that's what I want for you. I want you to control yourself, control your emotions, and have some emotional stability. We were talking about it earlier this week, but without emotional stability, our whole train gets derailed. I had one friend just go, I'm keep fucking up everything. And it's like your brain is miscalculating. You forgot to calculate all the times that you went and visited your mom or did something right for somebody or things were going good. We don't let it last long enough. And I don't know how to make good times last longer. Your boy Saint's been trying to master that the whole time. But what I do is push away the negativity longer. I hold back the things that aren't working in my life. And I highlight the things that are working on life. I put a big fat halo over the things, just like I'm putting over my own head. I put a big fat halo over it because I want it to succeed. I want it to have the light of love inside of its world. Same like you're raising your children. You don't go into your children and you wake them, oh, baby, what's up? We got global warming and I hope you wake up okay. No, you give the children everything in their lives. You like the hope, the brightness of love. But we don't do that to ourselves. And that's what bugs me is like, why don't we do that to ourselves? Why aren't we optimistically going after something? Why is everything got to be catastrophized? Why does everything have to be negative? And in those world that people live in, that's where they're at. They're like, all this is fucked up. And I can't tell you how many times I hear, oh, this is fucked up, but I can't count on one hand how many times someone called up, everything's going great. So this euphoricness, we all want to live in this raw, awesome moment, right? Like, you know, we bust our ass all week long. We're at the big game and we're there for Super Bowl with all our friends, right? And this moment, this pinnacle doesn't last long enough. There's not enough space and time at the first place level. And then we're all staying down here on this bottom level, hating on life. We just hate on it too much. And there's like, love your life. And I mean, really, give it some love. And not in the way where I'm saying like, oh, I love myself. Let me buy myself something. This is not love. What is love is being gentle on yourself, realizing that our minds play tricks on us, playing tricks on you every day. And it sucks, dude. It sucks that anxiety takes over blessings. It sucks that we'll catastrophize situations that really aren't that big of a deal. And I'll go back to it. I've said this many a times. When I was right there in China, I had a plane, train, automobile day where I had to catch everything, taxis. I'm all stressed the fuck out. I can't reach anything. I'm out of my own control. And then I missed the train and I threw my fucking bag down. I hopped and puffed like a motherfucker. And the only person that I was hurting was myself. Let that sink in. The only person I was hurting was myself. I'm letting my emotions beat me up. I'm letting my mind beat me up. And I'm supposed to be in control of this thing. This thing starts taking control of me. My emotions start taking control of me. Then I'm not in the driver's seat anymore. Next thing you know, I'm careening off to the road. I'm hitting the side corners. I'm wrecking my car. I'm damaging things that I wish were solid. And the only reason I'm doing it is because I'm self-destructive. People don't see it that way. They're not like being self-destructive. I'm like just being emotional. I'm irrational. Yeah, you're being irrational, dude. It doesn't make common sense to say you're not going to live to see the next day. And it doesn't make common sense to say that everything you do is fucking up. Of course, everything doesn't go right. It's not like that. But where are the touchdowns? Where are the highlights? I tell people that all the time. You watch the news, but you're watching the Blues. You don't hear about the 4th grader beating the 10th grader at the spelling bee. You're not hearing about all the awesome things that are happening in the world, the love that people have for their children, and the awesomeness that we come up with the invention. That's why I'm inside today. That guy's trying to blow away my show, and I'm about to go outside and knock his ass out. But anyway, other than that, that's our brains. And unfortunately, our human brains aren't adjusted to some awesomeness and letting it in. And that's why I wanted us to adjust. Without medication, without an outside influence, without all the bullshit, I wanted us to trust ourselves and have some belief into ourselves and start feeding this up here with light and love and some emotional stability instead of tricking ourselves into saying, hey, man, this ain't working. All this is some bullshit. That ain't working. Man, boop, 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 boop. Now all of a sudden, our brains aren't in gratitude, right? And that's what it's saying. Emotionally regulated neuroscience, that our brains, when we test and keep feeding it the grateful, the gratitude, guess what? Harmony, sensation. Man, I'm about to go out and knock this dude out. I waited for him to go around. Now he's right outside my door. I don't want to beat him up for the morning marijuana motivation, but there's our brain. I can let this dude in on my negativity and fuck it up my show, or I can let out the positivity and just stay focused on what's important to me. I can't own everybody's stress. I can't be them when I need them to be. Just like when I was teaching English, I told my kids, I won't be there the day the cop pulls you over. I won't be there the day you're in front of the judge. And everybody's stressed the fuck out because they're assuming the worst. And as an assumption, you're making an ass out of yourself. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop abusing yourself and let yourself have some reprieve. That's what I'm going to build. I'm going to build a spot called Reprieve. And it's going to be when you're broken down, you've worked too much, and we're going to take care of your bills and you can just be a human. I'm going to give 2 months off unabashedly, no excuses needed, to work with me and my system and my business. I'm going to give everybody 2 months off because that's what we need naturally. We need that time to naturally hear ourselves, heal ourselves, as my nose is still running from the cold outside. But this is the truth of it. And I don't know what we have to do to fix our brains. I don't know if this is genetics. I don't know if this is evolution. But my hope is that we evolve past catastrophizing. I hope that we get away from anxiety. And that's why I have the morning marijuana motivation, because my mind, right, makes awesome pimp decisions and treats myself as such. That's my aura. And you've seen other people on the quit. I said it earlier today, but I said there's no winners and losers in life. There's only survivors and quitters. And I hope you don't quit on your life. I hope you don't quit on yourself. I hope you don't quit on your mind. Make that bitch work for you. Make your mind start thinking the positive thoughts and obsess about that. Glorify the highlights, man. It takes forever for us to get around this lap called life. But guess what? Do you take another lap for patting yourself on the back and making it through life? And all the things that you thought you couldn't make it past, now it's highlighted. Now all of a sudden you're like, well, I wasn't exactly correct when I said it was the worst day of my life. Yeah, dude, I've had plenty of worst days in my life and I've made it past it, and so have you. And there's the blessing and the truth. So let your brain hear the truth. Let your brain get the real information and feel better about itself when you're alive during the day and going through your life. I want you to heal yourself. I want you to say good things to your brain and said, brain, don't fail me now. I know you got it inside you, between your ears, to smile and know that life is the blessing, and to find the blessings in everything and heighten your gratitude level on a level so high that it only creates a halo. And that's where we do it as humans. So on my heart from the start, please be nice to yourself. Please love yourself. Please let your mind work in favor of you and not be your worst enemy. And then you will have Saints Addiction. Go subscribe on YouTube. If you got anything out of this, go share it with a friend. We all need it. It's mental health. And that's what I do. I'm addicted to mental health. And that's what I want us all to have, is a healthy mental life. Peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. Blessings. Blessed minds, peace and love.